morning from Epcot. It is the second to last day of my trip and I'm going to spend the whole day at Epcot. Maybe I'll take a break and like walk around a resort or something like that. But yeah, today is pretty much just going to be dedicated to this park. Hopefully more eating than I did the first time I was here. I wasn't really feeling that well. It's Mickey! Hi, Mickey!
Stand up here. Stand up here.
Right here. Hurry.
Hurry.
Move over. This way. That one.
He's so nice. Oh my god, I didn't expect to see him. Love it. So, Epcot currently is the park of walls, but at least they're pretty. Like any of these walls. There's Edna. Oh my goodness. Would make great photo shoots. Decided to start my day with heading towards soaring, and I'm gonna ride the land again and experience everything that little pavilion has to offer.
Hello, and welcome to Soaring. My name is Patrick, and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. We'll begin boarding in a few minutes, but first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information. Store all carry-on items in the underseat compartment. This includes cameras, purses, hats, and of course, these little beauties. Next, fasten your seatbelts, inserting them into the buckle on your right. If smaller aviators don't measure up to the height indicator on the seat, just put the belt through the loop in the center strap before buckling it. That's sort of power.
So I didn't film on soaring because obviously, like, or maybe not obviously, if you don't know, it's a ride that takes you up and you pretty much just watch it film, but you move back and forth and like quasi simulator. It's a great ride, it's not just a film, but didn't want to film in there. And the seat that I had though, I'd never sat in that seat, but I had seen online a lot, pictures of it distorting some of the picture. And so that was the infamous seat where the Eiffel Tower looks like a glitch in the Matrix. I'll try to find a picture of that somewhere online and put it now on the screen so you can see. And now, time to ride Living with the Land. I get so excited over this ride, I cannot begin to tell you. I would love a house like this.
Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of those profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land.
Here at EPCOT, we're learning to reduce the need for chemical pesticides by breeding and using them for predators, like ladybugs and wasps, to control pests.
Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from EPCOT and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now.
Have you ever seen a pineapple?
The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petal, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. One day, many of these lesser-known tropical plants may be as important as the bananas growing on both sides of the boat. More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world. When you mention farming, you probably don't think of fish, but fish farming, or aquaculture, accounts for nearly half of all the seafood consumed globally. Tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are three of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. While there are more than 50,000 edible plant species in the world, most of us are only familiar with the handful that make up our everyday diet. The common grains growing here, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an
strawberry
important goal
tree.
of research around the world. These plants are definitely on their way up. Innovative growing techniques like these increase yields while more efficiently using resources like water, fertilizer, and pesticides. Another innovation at work here is our integrated pest management program. By populating our greenhouses with beneficial insects that prey on harmful pests, like aphids and flies, we are significantly reducing our reliance on conventional pesticides. Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature, like these fruit and vegetable trees. By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look. In fact, we serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the land every year. The future of agriculture may include innovative ideas like this vertical growing system. Plants grown in this way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases production. The aquaponics system on your left
Wow, those are
combines
some big
hydroponics
squash.
with aquaculture. The fish provide a natural source of fertilizer for the plants, and the plants help keep the water clean for the fish. It's another great way to produce more while using less.
You know what would be great right about now? A song about living with the land. That would really seal the deal on this ride right about now. It's raining and people are running inside of the land pavilion. Ooh. There we go. But you know me, I just become a poncho person. So we're gonna keep on walking. So I am actually headed to go to ride the Nemo ride, but just wanted to take a look at this topiary. And mainly I'm gonna go ride the Nemo ride instead of just walking over to the World Showcase like I intended to do, because as you can hear, it's thundering. So I don't mind the rain so much, just if it's properly thundering and lightning, kind of want to be inside for that. I like the Lion King topiary, definitely. Heading to France for a little food, and I came across The cutest topiary. It's Kermit on a bicycle. And the bicycle is made of bamboo and bark. Disney should really sell figurines of their topiaries. I would totally buy this one. So from Fleur de Lis, I got the goat cheese and caramelized onion tart, and I got the chocolate macaron on a stick. I think it's called like the macaron lollipop or whatever it's called, to try for dessert. This looks a little dry. Let's see what it tastes like. Honestly, it could be the driest thing in the world and I would still be grateful for it. As I was walking around, I was like, why am I so hungry? I ate breakfast. It's 2 o'clock. That's fine. So definitely not as dry as it looks. The goat cheese has a lot of moisture in it, which is good. All right, and let me try this macaron. I don't even know how I'm gonna eat this. Hold on. Oh, so the topping's nice and crunchy. Super chocolatey. That was delicious. Gonna do a little shopping in France now. Beauty and the Beast topiary. Lovely as always. All right, so I'm gonna come back at 8:30 because that is when Impressions Difference? Can't remember. Shows. So I noticed that all the merchandise in there veered away from like cultural things from France that they used to sell, and is now like very Disneyfied and very characterized. And I'm wondering if that is just because of the times that we're living in, that it's, you know, like harder to get certain things, or like factories may be shut down, or if that's just the route they're going. It's unfortunate if that's the route they're going, because not everything, and I know I'm saying this at Disney World, but I kind of feel that not everything needs to be 100% Disneyfied, and like it doesn't have to be like super charactered. That's actually one of the reasons that I've never ridden the Frozen ride, but that is a rant for another day. This is the new area. Where the restrooms are and the Ratatouille ride is going to be. This is beautiful. Huh. I was hoping that the Ratatouille ride would be soft opening. Okay, I'm pretty sure that they've been in those Skyliners. It started raining and thundering and lightning. Let's see, I would say 2.5 hours ago, if not longer, and they have been stuck there all of this time. I would be freaking out. Anyway, so like I was saying, I was hoping that they would soft open this while I was here, even though I know that that's a long time away because it's not opening until October, but was hoping that I would be able to see it. That's okay. I'll catch it whenever I come back for my trip next year. Turned back around to go UK and then start going around counterclockwise, I think. The Peter Pan topiary with Captain Hook. Huh. This is actually the Rose Garden Black Tea is my favorite Twinings tea that they make. Oh, the toy soldier's closed. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's super cute. Oh, and there's the Mickey one to match. Let's go see if they're inside. So these are teas. I'm not sure if they always were, but I think these teas at one point were only created for Disney property, or like in partnership with Disney. Oh, that's a pretty tea towel. I came over thinking it was a table runner. I just bought a dining room set and thought, ooh, that would be perfect as a table runner. But no. Oh, look, the pillows. Oh, all that it looks like he has is the cheers. The Winnie the Pooh topiaries are so adorable. I love his little red balloon. Took a break after watching the new Canada show, which is, it's fantastic. I was really concerned that they were changing it. Specifically, I love the song at the end of the Canada show, and I was really concerned that they were going to take that out. They didn't. It's still there, and it's a lot more educational and a lot more focused on the fact that in Canada there's such an open and welcoming country, and really respecting of everyone's culture and backgrounds and language, etc. So thought it was beautifully done. So I took a break. This is at the Citrus Blossom, the most beautiful dessert I have seen in a very long time. This is the citrus shortcake. This is orange chiffon cake, lemon curd, mandarins, whipped cream, and a citrus crumble. I'm gonna take the flour off even though I'm sure it's edible. That packs a citrus punch. Ooh. It's also a really light cake. Tastes great. 10 out of 10. Would recommend that. If I was staying here any longer, I would definitely come back for that on another day. Hopefully they have it next year as well. I think it's time to head over to the Mexico Pavilion and ride the Three Caballeros. On the way crossing over, looking at this true masterpiece. I bet Donald's angry that there's a bee on his head. Look at that bee, hard at work. Scratch that line side to get inside the actual pyramid, and then another line for the ride, which I was fine waiting in line for the ride. I really enjoy walking around the pyramid, but it's broad sunlight afternoon and that line outside is in the direct sun, so we'll come back. In Norway, going inside of the Stave Church. I think there's a lot of people in there. We are in China now, as you can see, picture behind me and in the front. All the pavilions are great for photo shoots or like photo op, but I think that the vibrancy of the China Pavilion would make great backdrops. I like these teacups. I specifically, of course, I like the most expensive one. $21 is not that bad. I like this dragon. He has crazy eyes. These are also really pretty too. These tea candies are really good, but there's a store back home that sells them. Let's see how much this has been marked up. Let's see. Oh, $4.95. That's actually what I pay back home for them, so that is not that bad. So I have a small version of this set, like a very miniature play tea set that I got as a child. It'd be cool to have the larger one. If I had a bigger apartment, I would get it. Ooh, the dragon has a whole tea set. I like that. Alright, so like that shocks me. Like that mug, the topped mug was $21 and this is $45. I definitely think that this is worth that price because it's a whole set. This one's beautiful too. Next up on the eat-in adventure is the Germany Pavilion. This is from the, I will more than likely mispronounce this, Bauern Market, but I got potato pancakes with applesauce. There was a lot more applesauce on here, but the pop socket on my phone touched half of it, and yes, I am funny that way, so I just scooped it off. Let's see how this tastes. There's a nice salty sweetness going on there. So those were exactly on the opposite end of the spectrum as far as texture as the cake. So the cake was the lightest thing I'd ever eaten. Those pancakes, the potato pancakes, were like one of the stodgiest things I've ever eaten. They were delicious though. The Germany Pavilion is so quaint. The second to last time I was here, I think it was. Yes, that makes sense. I ate at the Beer Garden restaurant. Delicious. It was one of the best meals I've actually ever had in my life. I really like German food though, so it was fantastic. And we went, I'm pretty sure it's not currently running, but we went during the time that they had the polka band playing, and that really made the experience. So like not only the food was good, but the entertainment was good as well. Into the wine cellar. Miss Butterfly. Alright, so it has rained, or started raining again. I'm going to try to make a run for it to go to the American Pavilion. I mean, positives. At least it's cool and not... Waiting for the American Experience, American Adventure. I think it's called American Adventure. Probably wrong. And in the building, they have the Soul of Jazz little display. So here are the clay models for Joe Gardner and Dorothea Williams. And they have some pieces of history on display too. This is the cornet from Bix Biedekerbeck. This is from 1920. Wow. And here's Bix with that, or one of his cornets. This is some sheet music from Jelly Roll Morton. And some from Louis Belson. And then the drumsticks from Gene Cooper. Look at those marks on those drumsticks. From Maxwell Davis, this is Whistle While You Work. Ooh, Louis Armstrong's trumpet. And an ivory saxophone from Charlie Bird Parker. Now heading into my literal favorite store in the World Showcase. I wonder how quickly it would take my cats to get this off their head. It's time to cat in style. I've never seen Hula Gudetama before. my gosh, how cute. That's adorable. I could put the hat on my cats, and then I could put this on, and we could take our Christmas photos. This is actually my favorite part of this whole store because usually there's a lot more. But I am a huge fan of bowls and dishes and kitchenware and ceramics and stuff. I love this. So Disney does this anytime they have like construction that they don't want you to see or like something they don't want you to notice. They just put plants in front of it. And honestly, that is a big like metaphor for what I do. I guess this is where I learned it from. Because I too, when it's something I don't want to deal with, just put a mental something in front of it and pretend it doesn't exist. Stopped by the boulangerie and picked up a Perrier and a pain au chocolat. I'm gonna keep on walking and eat it whenever I find a spot. It's getting a little crowded, and a lot of the people in this area specifically are really white girl wasted, so kind of want to get out because that's annoying me. I know that I said earlier that I was going to wait around and come back for the showing of Impressions of France, but that's like an hour and a half away, and to be honest, I'm kind of done in the World Showcase and really don't feel like walking all the way back, so I'm just gonna have to catch that on my next trip. Hopefully they don't cancel it or like remove it, because that tends to be the trend with me, that I say I'll do something on a next trip and then it is removed. So let's all collectively cross our fingers. And my last Food and Wine Festival beverage sort of thing that I'm eating in the rain is a Dole Whip, melting Dole Whip with Fanta. Dole Whip is my favorite. And so the last ride of EPCOT will be Spaceship Earth. Alright, so that is the end of today at EPCOT. It was a full day, it was a rainy day, but it was a nice and cool day, and I had a lot of fun. Tomorrow is my final day, and it is a Magic Kingdom day. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. Hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye!